Hi folks, this is Tim, aka TurboBB. Today I'll be reviewing ThruNite's latest release, the TN30, which they have dubbed the King of Flood with a max output of 3000 lumens. And as you can see, it comes in a pretty nifty metal box here. I'll flip the latches open. Okay, first thing we have here is a holster, and inside of here is a lanyard. Do not eat silica gel. And 2 spare O-rings and a rubber tail cap. Okay, I'll just leave that on the side here. So a user manual. Covers the features of the light as well as instructions on how to operate it. Put that on the side as well. And a warranty card. Okay, and finally, I'm going to take out the light itself. Set that here, just get the box out of the way. Okay, I've actually already pre-installed the battery so that way we could get the review kick-started. So, as you can see, the light features 3 XML LEDs, U2s deeply recessed within a reflector. Even though it is dubbed the King of Flood, these reflectors are actually decently deep, so it does have some throw to it as well. And as you can see in the shine there, the reflection of the compact fluorescent light, that lens is AR coated. Okay, now moving on to the head here, you can see that there are a lot of fins for heat dissipation. The control ring itself, which actually is set to the standby mode, and there's a strobe to the right, and then 6 levels down here that are actually not marked other than this little decreasing power output line here. Now, before we turn the light on, okay, I just want to cover the rest of the body, okay? There is the model number as well as the serial number, which actually looks like a date and plus whatever those numbers are, the name of the company, and as well as their slogan, guiding you through the night. Okay, and finally at the tail end, there is a master on-off switch. So if forward clicky, now if this switch is depressed off, regardless of how you turn the ring, the light is just completely off. Okay, turn it on. And I'm going to hit the strobe first, so watch your eyes. Okay, looks like that's a variable strobe. I'm actually going to take this card here and leave here to help the camera's autofocusing, right, as I turn on the light, because that usually throws it off. Now, this is the highest output, and it actually does feature a soft ramp, sort of like what I demoed with the Extra S1. I suppose this is definitely to help the protect the circuitry as well as your eyes from getting immediately blasted with 3000 lumens. Okay, 5th level, 4th level, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Now, 1st level is actually pretty dim. I mean, it's claimed to be 1 lumens. I think it's slightly brighter than that, but it is dim enough that you could actually see it. Now, this is just ambient lighting here. This is a compact fluorescent table lamp, about roughly 13 watts. But as you can see, you can still see, look directly into those LEDs. Okay. The texture is actually fairly decent, provides a decent amount of grip. The barrel is a little bit thick and chunky, so, you know, it may be a problem with people who have probably carpal tunnel syndrome or some physical problems with their hands. However, though, it's not too bad. The texture does provide very reasonably good grip. There are 2 holes here for that lanyard, so you could clip on either end. And there's a recess here such that you could put your hand in the overhand grip and still access the tail switch. Okay, so feeling wise, I've got medium-sized hands, so to me, this particular portion here actually digs into the thumb a little bit right there, but it's not too bad provided I hold it further back a little bit. Click has a nice resounding click, decent pressure, not too hard to press. Okay, and the detents are actually fairly solid. Through all the levels, including the strobe from end to end, there's a nice detent and click. Okay, so with that said, we're going to go ahead and remove the tube. Okay, on the bottom of the side of the head, there's just a main negative contact plate as well as a spring for the positive tip from the battery. Now, not sure if you're actually going to be able to see this or not. It's going to be a little tough, but those are actually square cut threads with a decent amount of lube applied. And now we're going to try to get the battery carrier out. It is a very tight fit, as I discovered when I was trying to put in the batteries. Okay, there we go. So these are actually extra 18700 cells. My longest cell's at, I believe, 69.3 millimeters. But even so, as you can see, I purposely put the white background there. Still got about maybe 2-3 millimeters worth of play in there. So 18700 batteries will fit, provided again they are exactly 70 millimeters. Now, as you can see, both sides are redundant, meaning that there's this negative contact plate out here, as well as center positive tip, and that's repeated at this end as well. So that way you could insert this without worries either end, and the light will function. However, though, you do still have to be mindful to insert the cells itself in the correct polarity. Now, one thing you will have noticed is that I've actually placed the labels inside, and again, that's because every little, even half a millimeter counts. As I was putting in there, it wasn't able to get it to fit before with that label sticking out. So now peering into the two, let me just get the light here a little bit. You can actually see there's a giant spring there with a repeated positive tip in there as well. I don't know if you can, how well you can see that, but I guess again that's redundancy for completing the circuit. Okay, so let me just insert this back in. Again, care needs to be taken to insert these cells because it is a very tight fit. Okay. Now, overall initial point, there may have been a little bit of grittiness, but as you could hear right now, there actually wasn't any grittiness on the threads of the cells. Okay, so that covers an overview of the light, and I will be taking a different video to measure the output next.